You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter here. Hope you're having a great December and great holiday season so far. I've got a review as we continue through the end of the month. I've got a review for Bad Santa, which is one of my personal favorite holiday movies. It is directed by Terry Zwigoff, and it's written by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. So, really interesting in looking up about the writers, because I didn't recognize the names. Both writers worked on The Wild Thornberrys, Angry Beavers, which is freaking wonderful. I was so happy to see that they wrote on one of my favorite shows as a kid. But then you continue through. They worked on Cats and Dogs, the original one, which is a pretty fun movie. They did Bad Santa in 2003. They didn't go ahead and team back up with, oh my god, Billy Bob Thornton, there we go, in 2005 for the Bad News Bears remake, which I thought was fun. And then they both go ahead and work on I Love You, Philip Morris, which you could argue is the performance of Carrey's career. He's amazing in that. And then they do Focus, which I think Focus is aight. The film with Margot Robbie and Will Smith, of course. And then they do Bad Santa 2, and then Smallfoot with my boy C. Tates, which I actually like Smallfoot. I thought Smallfoot was cute. And then they've been working on that Kiefer Sutherland show Rabbit Hole, which I think is still going, or maybe I read it got canceled. I can't remember. But then they do Jungle Cruise in 2021, and Jungle Cruise is actually quite a bit of fun. I think that movie's, I don't want to say it's underrated, but it's a lot more fun than I think a lot of people probably remember it being. But this film stars Billy Bob Thornton, of course, playing Willie, aka Santa. And one thing I don't watch this every year. You know what? I usually do put this on, if not every year, every other year. There are a few holiday films that I have to watch every year. Let me think of my like all of the other reindeer, have to watch that. Muppet Christmas Carol, have to watch that. Jingle All the Way, Die Hard, The Night Before, I definitely have to watch every year. And that's kind of it. I'll watch, in the Hey Arnold Christmas episode, that with Mr. Wynn's daughter. God, that shit always just, shit kills me. But this is one of those movies that, on a rewatch, I was sitting here going, man, this is way more Coen Brothers-esque than I remember it being. And that's a huge fucking compliment, because this film, just from jump, it establishes Willie's a piece of shit. Like, he is straight up a piece of shit. There's really nothing redeemable about him. He fucking sucks. He's terrible. And yet, by the end of the movie, the corners have softened a little bit, so you can kind of go, well, he's kind of learned a lesson, but also he's still a piece of shit. I appreciate the character progression, but it's not a full 180, which I think, considering who Willie is and what he does, is actually way more believable. But getting into the plot here, so every Christmas, Willie, played by Billy Bob Thornton, and Marcus, played by Tony Cox, they go ahead and they run a scam. They go ahead and they do the whole Santa and Santa's little helper gimmick. They go ahead, work at a mall, and then basically go ahead and just rob the mall blind, usually on Christmas Eve or right before Christmas Eve, and go ahead and make off with the loot. Pretty brilliant plan, honestly, when you see how they kind of lay it out. So they go ahead and they make their tradition. They go ahead, rob this mall, and Willie says, I'm out. They make over $100,000 on this last heist that they pull, which is fucking absurd. So Willie goes, you know, dude, I'm done. I'm not gonna, you know, rob banks anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and retire. You know, get a place, open up a little bar on the beach in Florida. Like, I'm good. And and Marcus, because he knows Willie, is like, dude, you're fucking drunk. You're gonna go and waste all your money, and you're gonna be begging me to go ahead and call you next Christmas to go ahead and rob another bank. And Willie does exactly what Marcus says. He burns through all his money. There's this great scene where the movie tricks you. Willie's behind a bar, and it looks like, oh shit, he's actually opened up his own bar on the beach. And this guy comes in going, asshole, get the fuck out from behind my bar. And Willie just chugs this drink in defiance, you know, goes fuck you, gets into a fight with the guy. And Willie ends up going, we end up seeing Willie's apartment in Florida, and it's a total, you know, shit studio apartment, booze bottles all over the place. As Marcus said, he's burned through all his fucking money, and he's got collections on his ass. He he got into a car accident, and the woman even says on the answering machine that, yeah, I went ahead and reached out to your insurance company, and they've never even heard of you. It's wild, and it just again shows what a piece of shit Willie is. So Willie and Marcus decide to go ahead and team back up, and this time they go to Phoenix, where the mall is ran by, pardon me, Bob Chapesca, who is played by the brilliant John Ritter. And so, okay, so John Ritter, real quick, I mean, obviously, rest in peace to him, but I grew up with the Problem Child movies. Like, I was a big fan. I was actually a really big fan of those movies, as terrible as they definitely get. But of course, you know John Ritter from Three's Companies. Yeah, that's where most people know him from. But those Problem Child movies, yeah, are they dumb? Yes, my God, they're dumb. But God damn it, they're kind of fun for just their destructive nature. You know what I mean? I have fun with them, but John Ritter, this was unfortunate. I believe this was his last role, and he gets to work not exclusively, but he works a ton with Jin, yeah, Jin in the movie, played by Bernie Mac. Who, let me just say, Bernie Mac was always my favorite of the original Kings of Comedy. I think it goes Mac, then DL, then who cares? Because I'm still mad at Cedric the Entertainer for that Codename the Cleaner bullshit, and I'm still mad at Steve Harvey for signing a deal with Denny's when they were kicking all those black people out of the restaurants for no reason. So, yeah, both terrible for different reasons, but at least Cedric the Entertainer is fun in interviews. But I digress. Bernie Mac, though, this is like Def Comedy Jam Bernie Mac. The way he is scathing in the best way during this film. He's basically kind of like the head. Like, Ritter's more the manager of the mall. Jin is more of kind of the overlord of the mall at large. He's wonderful in this. There's a interaction he has with a kid that I'll get to in a second, but the scenes, a lot of them are exclusively with Bernie Mac, and it's it's just John Ritter, Ritter's Bob, explaining Willie's horrible behavior. There's a point where Willie is fucking this BBW in a dressing room, and Willie flat out goes like he's fucking her up the ass. Like the film tells you, he's fucking her up the ass. And he even goes, you're not gonna shit right for a week. And so hearing John Ritter explain that he walked in and saw him fucking this woman, or heard him fucking this woman, because he doesn't actually see it, but he sees their ankles, which tee-hee. But he goes ahead and has to explain this to Bernie Mac, who's eating an orange in like a hilariously sloppy way. I always think about that scene because it's like, am I just like remembering it wrong that Bernie Mac is eating this orange in like a very sloppy way? And then I always see the scene and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm 1,000% right. He's eating this orange almost suggestively, honestly. It's quite odd, but it's quite hilarious, and it adds to the comedy as Ritter is trying to dance around actually using any cuss words, which I thought was a fun choice because he's very much, they don't come right out and say like he's like playing a very conservative Christian movie, but it's not a hard leap to make because he's very much about the integrity of the kids, and the kids need to believe Santa is still real and everything. And if you're going to be around children, you have a certain obligation to uphold certain values, not feelings that Matt Gaetz supports. But anyways, but it's fascinating, and their back and forth is so much fucking fun. There's only like maybe three scenes of it. I wish there were a couple more. I think you could have stretched this out another like 10-15 just to give me a little more of the dynamic because I enjoyed it that much. So I haven't mentioned him yet, but Brett Kelly, he plays the kid, as he's known for like 90% of the movie until like the last, I think, 20 minutes you learn his name. Thurman is his name. You know him from Trick or Treat. Oh, he was in Trick or Treat. That's right. That's if you have not seen Trick or Treat, I know we're in the holiday season, but check out Trick or Treat if you have not watched it. That's a great fucking movie. But I digress. But he plays the kid in this movie, and basically he's this kid who is obsessed with Santa, and he sits on Willie's lap and is telling him what he wants for Christmas and everything. And there's this amazing dialogue between the two of them where he looks at him like, he's like, "Are you Santa?" And paraphrasing, but Willie goes, "Yeah, like no fucking shit, I'm Santa." And he goes like, "What's wrong with your beard?" He's like, "Oh yeah, my hair's falling out." "Why is your hair falling out?" "I love the woman who wasn't clean." Was that Mrs. Claus?" "No, it was her sister." It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. And that is, so I've made no illusions about the fact that in movies and in real life, being a dick to kids just always makes me laugh. Like it like it's terrible, but always makes me laugh. It's my equivalent of a cheap fart joke. If you're a dick to a kid, that shit always, like 9 times out of 10, entertains the absolute hell out of me. And seeing Willie as Santa, this incredible symbol for kids to be excited and think about the holidays and everything, for him to just be such an asshole to everyone, especially children, it's a constant joke that it's the gift that keeps on giving. There's a point where, and I will say, I'm going to defend Willie on one thing here. There's a point where he's eating lunch, right? And this woman's like, "Oh, honey, why don't you go up and tell Santa what what you want for Christmas?" And Willie freaks out and goes, "I'm on my fucking lunch break." And he's got salad in his mouth and he's like spitting it. And, the woman goes, "Oh my God, I'm going to tell, like, your manager's going to hear about this." And here's the thing. Should he have flipped out on the kid? No, not a great look. But also, don't bug people on their lunch. People deserve a lunch just like everyone. Like that one TikTok where that guy was parked outside that woman's house, for like USPS, I think it was, and she was like knocking on his door for like 20 minutes to get her package. It's like, you can fucking wait. like it's fine. And again, bad of him to freak out, but she was also wrong for bugging fucking Santa on his lunch break. God damn it! Let the fucker eat. Let him recharge. It's hard dealing with kids, let alone that many kids. Like God damn, that's a lot of kids. And also, and that's not even including the fact that Willie has like a kid like pee on him. He has his kid sneeze on him, which I was like, oh Jesus, like God. Even talking about it just made me gag a little bit. I totally forgot to mention that the movie starts off Willie's monologue to us, the audience. Maybe 30 seconds in, he goes, if I knew I had to deal with little kids pissing in my lap for 30 days out of the year, I'd kill myself. And he pauses and goes, still might. Like, it's like, goddamn. So it's so fucked up. But I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning, but it's kind of amazing how Coen Brothers this ends up getting, because this is a R-rated, raunchy comedy, but on top of that, there's like a Coen Brothers-esque heist film as well, because of course, Willie and Marcus, they're all about getting this money and robbing this new mall that they're working for. And so what's really fun about that is that Jen ends up figuring it out, and because you find out that Willie is staying with the kid, totally taking advantage of him, which again goes back to Willie being a piece of shit, which again, I fucking appreciate the fact that they're not trying to redeem Willie, but only so much. And and when he's staying with the kid, when he initially walks in with the kid, he has a ski mask on, just ready to off, like ready to off someone if he has to. But you find out that that the kid, Thurman, is living essentially by himself. He has a grandma there, but she's not in good health. She basically is, I don't want to say a vegetable, but she's very not aware of most of the shit that's going on. So he's really raising himself, which is a, Child Protective Services. Holy shit, where are you at on that one? So one thing I haven't brought up yet, I haven't brought up Lauren Graham. So first off, I'm a huge fan of hers. First off, get out of the way. Sup girl, she's fucking gorgeous. She's fucking fine. But her comedic timing, even on, and I have to say this, I was dating a girl, she liked the show. Shut up. I watched more Gilmore Girls than I care to admit. I probably watched at least a season, maybe 2 seasons. But I really liked her on Mighty Ducks Game Changers. I thought she was really charming on there, and I thought her, like, the dramatic beats she needed to hit, I thought they were actually really heartfelt. I was a huge fan of that, of her on that. I also really dug Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. That's a show, I think that's on Peacock that you can stream, but if you can't even stream it, buy it. It's well worth your fucking time. It's a great fucking show. I was really happy the couple times she pops up on Curb, because I just love Curb Your Enthusiasm. But I mean, she's been in so much shit, and she plays this waitress, or this not waitress, bartender named Sue that Willie ends up hooking up with, who has a Santa kink, go figure. And and what I actually like about Sue's, I mean, yes, she has a Santa kink. She ends up saying, fuck me Santa over and over again, which, I had a comment, but I'm going to be good. Anyways, moving on. But what I actually like about her character is that there's this point where she actually likes Willie. Like, she knows Willie's a piece of shit, but they have fun together. And sometimes, even if that's not going to be sustainable for, any sort of actual relationship, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just want to have fun. Sometimes that's all it needs to be. But she's honestly the person that cares about Thurman the most. So when she actually meets him, she's actually really sweet to him, and you can tell in the best way. It actually takes Thurman off guard a little bit, because he's not used to someone being this kind to him, which, goddamn, how sad is that? But I really like where her character ends up as well, without getting too spoilery, even though this film's been out for years. You should have seen this shit by now. But where it really does go Coen Brothers is in terms of its violence. There's the way that a certain character gets killed is very Coen Brothers. It's pretty heartless in that way. And given the circumstances of what Willie and Marcus are doing, it should be heartless. There's the violence isn't glamorized, which is something I really appreciate. Like, it feels brutal when things do occur. Also, there's a point where this cop or the cops are digging through Willie's room because they presumably get tipped off by someone, and he goes up and talks to the sex worker, lady of the night, as Michael Scott would say. And the lady of the night, he goes like, hey, like, come here. And she goes, yeah, like, Willie, I'm done with your freaky ass. Last time I, fucked you, I didn't shit right for a week. The streetwalker in question, Oscar winner Octavia Spencer. What? I totally forgot it was Octavia Spencer. That Opal is the sex worker's name. I was laughing so goddamn hard. I was like, that's right, that is Octavia Spencer. Fucking 20 years ago. 20 years ago this movie came out. Fucking wild. But I love the ending of this, where Willie gets gunned down, and in the letter to the kid, he even says that basically the cops are treating him super well because Santa being gunned down in front of a bunch of kids watching was more fucked up than Rodney King. That shit was fucking funny. That is a brutal ass line. And that was something that I actually really appreciate. I completely forgot about the Rodney King reference. But getting my final thoughts here. This is a movie that actually holds up very well. It is not politically correct in any way, shape, or form. So if that does offend you, you will have multiple points where you will cringe watching this. You'd probably cringe the whole way through. Maybe just don't even watch it. But it's a fucking amazing movie, and it really does age well as far as just make me laugh. There's a whole sequence where Willie shows up so drunk he can't even function. Like, he's tripping over himself and shit. Can't even get to Santa's share. And so Jen and Marcus end up having this verbal war of words. There you go. That's the term I was trying to think of. But it's fucking wonderful. And Marcus ends up KOing him. But that was a really fun sequence as well. I mentioned earlier that Jen is a dick to this one kid, but this one kid was trying to shoplift. The kid was probably like 13, and he steals the kid's MP3 player, kicks him out of the store, and then says Happy Kwanzaa. I was laughing so goddamn hard. That's one of the hardest laughs I get in the whole film, and it kills me every time. But this film, it's aged really well as far as just making me laugh. The comedy is not politically correct. I cannot stress that enough. So if that is a trigger, I would not recommend watching this. But it is so much fucking fun. And again, Willie is redeemed only so much, which I really do appreciate, because it does make it easier to accept that he would make these small changes versus, becoming an entirely new person, which he definitely is not by the end of the movie. But I have such fun with this. This is a solid A for me. It's such a fun fucking movie. It's so fucking snarky and sassy, and just, it's wonderful. I fucking love this movie. It warms my heart, which I don't know what that says about me, but it warms my heart. So, Bad Santa, have y'all seen it? What'd you think of it? Let us know in the comments. Go ahead and find us on YouTube. You can find us at The Real Pineapple. Just go ahead and search us there, and you'll find our channel. Go ahead and follow me on Blue Sky at bsky.social. Oh wait, no, that's not my. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking what my Blue Sky is. What is my Blue Sky? Find me at realpineapple.bsky.social. That's what it is. Was blanking there. Have a question for the show. Have a review request. Just want to say hi. Shoot me an email. You can shoot me an email at jhunter@therealpineapple.com. You can follow me on TikTok at jhunterrealpineapple. And you can follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. I'm going to be hopping on Twitch here soon. I promise. Go ahead and subscribe now so you know when I'll be live. You can follow me at twitch.tv/jhunterrealpineapple. That again is REEL Pineapple. And listen to the podcast, like, share, subscribe, rate the show. It definitely helps us out. I would greatly appreciate that. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts at The Real Pineapple. I've got a lot of reviews coming down the pipeline here, including reviews for Priscilla, The Boy and the Heron, the holdovers, God, what else? Oppenheimer. Gonna have more reviews coming out for the Real Holiday series, including a review for the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Die Hard. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for y'all. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other. Get your COVID shot if you haven't gotten it yet. Get your flu shot. It's getting colder. I want y'all to be safe. But never forget, as always, to keep it real.